understandings of the stock market and investing. And while doing the platform work this week and like writing down all these questions that I'm wondering or the things that I'm like assuming, I realized that I'm not too sure about some things, and I really need to like do research and ask people in real life about stuff that I'm just assuming but don't know completely or 100%. And the stuff I did this week really helped me by like opening my eyes to stuff I'm like assuming, and I really need to make sure it's right and need to do more research and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, because a lot of what we're doing today is about assumptions. And, as we research our problems, as we dig deeper into our problems, just like you said, Henry, like we need to make sure, or maybe there are things that we didn't even think about, or we just assume that things would go a certain way or are a certain way. So we definitely have to like do our work and our research and things like that. Awesome. Thank you, Henry. Is there anyone else, before we get started with everything, if you want to talk about anything that you learned this week, about anything that you learned about your problem that you're focusing on, yeah, feel free. Or if you want to ask somebody a question, anything.
Um, sorry. um, so because I'm leaving soon, I'm actually leaving tomorrow to go back home. I spent the weekend in one of the smaller villages, and then it was so interesting coming back and then just seeing how, even though they also don't have much there, how they'd share land between each other, because we were on like my cousin's land and she was doing a deal with someone, and then they were showing how when one person grows a certain crop, another person will grow a different one, and instead of having to pay each other for it, they could swap their goods. And I think that was really nice to learn that that's what they do. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I think that's cool that you're getting to go kind of like physically, and seeing that. So yeah, that's really cool. And that's a really like, a cool, interesting experience to add to what you are focusing on. Thank you, hubby, for sharing. Is there anyone else that would like to share about anything they've learned, anything about their problem, any curiosity towards other issues? Yes, Hamza, go ahead.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was like doing some research, and obviously my problem is like how strongly like mental health and exercise is linked. And after doing like the week 4 platform work, I like kind of like started like questioning myself. I was like, is there an actual link, or am I just assuming there is? And I was like am I like letting my like personal beliefs like inflict like my opinion on this problem? So like the more I started like researching into it, like I actually realized that there's not that much research that actually supports this like strong link between exercise and mental health. Like there is like proven like effects, like short-term effects that exercise and physical activity has on mental health, but there's like so much more like implications, like the type of exercise and the intensity and like the environment. And like I feel like I'm just like entering like a big like hole, but it's kind of like exciting because it's like when you're questioning everything you believe and you're finding out more information, it's like it's exciting because it's like you enter like these new like pathways. And so like I was like thinking like like originally like my problem, like I wanted to link it strongly to exercise and how like that like helps with like mental health. But then I actually realized like the core root of the problem is mental health in itself, and like there's so many other factors that actually like need to be taken to consideration, and that needs to be like balanced between the issue. And obviously, like I feel like I need to like start exploring these other factors, and just like as much as like I like enjoy the whole exercise aspect of it, which it is a strong aspect, but there's also like other things that need to be like explored and taken into consideration. And yeah.
Wow, Hamza, that is awesome. And it is so good that you're going down this rabbit hole, because the whole, the whole reason why we have this process is like, okay, there is something you focus on, but you also have to dive into things that you might not have thought of, or you start questioning yourself, which is good, because it's really good to get really deep in there and think about those things so that you can have a stronger approach to explaining your problem, or to understanding your problem better. So that is awesome. And one thing you could also think about is like, right, what you're saying with mental health is there in mental health itself is a problem. Sometimes when you're so, when you're so low, when you're so down, you don't even want to get up and exercise. So like how do we fix that situation right there?
Yeah.
Like exercise will help you, but like sometimes you're just like, I don't even want to get up. So yeah, there are a lot of nuances to that. Thank you for sharing. Cool, awesome. Is there anyone else that would like to share? Anyone else that wants to talk about something new they learned, something they're curious about, something they want to ask somebody else in the class? Yes, Adrian, go ahead.
I learned that you shouldn't absorb the negative thoughts, but you shouldn't also ignore it. You just have to, well, I realized, not really learned, because you just have to listen to it, so that you can think about what you are doing wrong or what is wrong around you. And instead of like pushing it away, or like focusing on one thing that you think is the problem.
Absolutely, Adrian. I definitely agree. I think that a lot of times we try to distract ourselves from the negative thoughts, from the negative aspects, just because we want to feel good, or we want to only think about the positive stuff. But it's important to sit with the other thoughts, and kind of labeling them as negative is not always the way to go, because there's a reason why we feel a certain way, or we have a certain type of perspective, and we should engage in it and understand it better. So absolutely. Awesome. These are really, really good insights, really good stuff. Okay, so now we're gonna take it to the Discord chat. So everybody please go to the general chat. And I want you guys to think back 2 to 5 years ago, or maybe even yesterday, maybe even last month. What is something you didn't know about your problem back then, or something you were wrong about? Like some of you guys talked about like how you guys learned about this and learned about that. What are things that you didn't know before, and what is different now? What do you understand better about it now? Or what is something you completely, you thought it was so right before, and about, regarding your problem, and now you're just like, wait, that's completely wrong. So give us all the insight. Go ahead and type in the Discord chat, and everyone, yeah, go ahead. So again, you are writing, what is something you didn't know about your problem yesterday, the last month, years ago, that you know now, or something that you assumed about your problem before, but you have been, realized that that assumption was not true, or that was wrong. And if anybody wants to speak, I know many of you spoke already, so if anyone else would like to speak up, raise your hand and let me know, and you can tell us. Yeah, Seville, grades. are, you know, not necessarily an accurate representation, but, you know, when we were younger, that's what we thought. We thought that, you know, getting straight A's or getting 100% meant we were super smart. But the more we realize that's not true, the more frustrating it is to, you know, stay in the educational system that we are. Yeah, Shahad, taking animals from their mothers at a very young age is really bad for them. Yeah, and you know, to be honest, I feel like a lot of the world doesn't know about that. Like we kind of just think, oh, okay, let's just, you know, adopt an animal, and we don't realize how emotionally attached, because we don't recognize the attachment and the need for a child animal to be with their mother. If anyone wants to share or respond to someone, let me know. Would love to hear you guys speak a little bit more. And yes.
I wrote one, but I'm going to say a different one. Is that all right?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Oh, I wrote one on the Discord chat, but I want to say a different one. Is that all right?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Okay, so the one I was going to say is that oh my god, this keeps happening. Could I come back? Like, could I come back?
Yeah,
really,
sure. All right, and Hamza, yes, go ahead.
Hi. Okay, so I was gonna respond to Adrian's comment. How he said 2 years ago he used to think that I don't see color is the best way to be an anti-racist, and and obviously like as the years have gone on, like he's realized that it's like a complicated like systematic racism, and I genuinely believe that the best thing to actually like the best what's the word I can't think of the word right now, my mind's just gone blank, but like when you acknowledge that, it's like the best thing, because there's like racism, like it goes like beyond color, like it goes into like deeper, like within like cultures and like class and like a caste and stuff like that as well. Like there's people like say for example like you have like black racism and Islamophobia. It's a type of racism as well. It's like kind of like understanding the problem instead of ignoring the problem is kind of the best way to solve the problem, if that makes sense. Am I making any sense? Am I just rambling? But yeah, I don't know, I've just lost my train of thought, but never mind.
No, yes, Hamza, you are making sense. And I would also like to add on exactly, like people think that if they just ignore that race, you know, that society is, you know, dictated by race, then we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to make any progress in that aspect. So it's really important to be like, no, race is a problem because, as Adrian said, you know, there is systemic racism, institutional racism that is integrated into society, that is pulling groups of people back and pushing other people forward, you know. So if we don't truly understand that and truly confront that issue, we're not going to make progress. So thank you. Yes, Sophia, go ahead.
Yes, hi. I was going to talk about the idea of, I didn't actually write it, but this idea which teens nowadays, I'm a teen too, it's not as if I'm not, but teens nowadays think that if parents should not have any control over them, and they always like think that if the parents have control over them, they're not as good as the other children their age, and they do not have what they have and all these ideas. And this was in my mind too, because I thought about the same thing too, like maybe 1 year ago. That's what all I thought, that my parents, because they do have control over me, control by using the phone, like that's the control I mean. I thought that I thought that my life was depressing and all that stuff that we see on TikTok nowadays. But this idea has to be clear to everyone, that parents do have control over their kids, because they know what's not good for them. They know that their phones might affect like the way they think and the way they act. And it can affect them also, like it can affect their health as well. So how is it like connected to the education system? Because children also, when they see the ideas on the social media, like they might see other kids as well who do not like the same, like who do not want to study, so they want to copy them by not studying. And that thing happened because they like overuse the phone, and they just how do we say, copy everything that goes, and they think that whatever happens on the internet is the right thing to happen and is the right thing to do. If like a group of people decided to do something, because I'm like a teenager, I have to do it as well. So this idea must like disappear from the teenagers' minds.
Yeah, it's very, very hard because there's peer pressure, just like you said, and you know, we kind of have to be okay with being who we are and doing what we need to do. But sometimes it can be difficult because we have, you know, especially as teenagers, you want to feel like you fit in and you want to feel comfortable. So it's easy to kind of do what everyone else is doing. But yes, we need to create a more, just like you said, a more like an environment that will allow people to just be who they are and do what they need to do and grow. Really. Thank you, Silvio. Okay, and Andy, you will be the last person, and then we'll move on to the next activity. Thank you, guys.
Okay. So what I was going to say is that over the years as I age, I learned to listen more when I'm having conversation rather than being quick to have a response. Because usually the people who respond quickly after you state something, they usually haven't fully processed 100% of the information you've given. Because in their mind, they were already preparing a response for the beginning statement that you said, and they didn't really capture most of the ending. So that hasn't really processed on their mind. And as a kid, as any kid, I was just quick to get my ideas out. Like I heard the beginning and I was like, oh, I know this, and I didn't wait for the end. But now I tend to just take a few seconds after I hear something and just process it. And most of the time, people were like, "Are you there? Are you there?" Because I just go dead silent. You can even ask Hamda. But I feel like that's a quality everybody needs.
Yes, Andy, that is awesome, and that's so true. I feel like we are all always so like hyper, like we just want to make sure we speak. We want to make sure people are hearing us, that we are not fully really immersing in what other people are saying and listening. So yeah, absolutely. I think that the world needs a little bit more of that. And what an awesome quality you have, and a better like, hey, I feel good. I'm just gonna sit here silently and, you know, figure it out, process it. So very, very true. Great. Okay, you guys, that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for participating. You guys have amazing things to say, and I wish we could talk about this more and more because I love talking about this stuff. But we do have to move on to the next thing. So now we're gonna do breakout rooms. So I'm gonna put you guys in breakout rooms in a couple minutes, and we are gonna talk about like personal assumptions. So this week you guys learned and wrote and responded about assumptions that are made about you and how it makes you feel, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So the first thing you're going to talk about is, what is one thing that people assume about you but is actually not true? So I'm going to put you in your rooms and you're going to talk to whoever's in your rooms. Let's see, there are 12 views. Okay, yeah. So you're going to talk about one thing that people assume about you and it's not actually true. All right, so go ahead, join your rooms. You have about 3 to 4 minutes to speak, so make sure everyone speaks, and then we will come back in 3 to 4 minutes and we'll do another one. All right, have fun.
Can we name the thing we also shared in the platform this week?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Right, welcome back. All right. Okay. Awesome. Welcome back. I hope you guys were all able to share. Now you guys are going to go back to different rooms. Hopefully you'll have different people. And now you are going to talk about a situation that someone assumed something and it ended really badly. So you're going to talk now with your classmates about a situation that someone assumed something and it ended really badly. So please share that. And yeah, here you go. Okay, welcome back. I hope you all got a chance to speak and share. All right, so the idea is that, when we assume things about people or we assume things about different issues in the world, we have to make sure that if we want to be catalysts for change, we need to make sure, that we are aware of our biases, because we all come from different backgrounds, we all come from different cultures, different views, and it can be very harmful if we take these assumptions and we don't really try to, unlearn them or understand them better. So does anyone, one or two people, want to share anything about what they spoke about assumptions that people make about them or a situation? Yes, Seville, go ahead.
Yes, hi. Okay, so I was with the room with Andy and Didam. So Andy said something which is that he was an introvert, and most people thought that he was an extrovert. So here I really understood how can people take it. You can already say that Andy seems like an extrovert because he talks and that. Yeah, so I said that I thought the same way too. So from here I understood that really assumptions can really be wrong. Like they really can be wrong. Yeah, that's it.
Seville, can you repeat who you were in the group with? Sorry, I missed that.
Andy and Didam.
Andy and Didam, okay. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, assumptions can be wrong and can lead to things that are not good. So it's important to know that we have assumptions and to know that we have biases and to be able to be willing to learn about that. Yes, Andy, go ahead.
I was in a group with Nashville and Didum, and I see that most of the times assumptions can lead to violence for either party. And for Didum's situation, a typical class bully just out of randomly decided she's his next victim, and he made some assumptions about her origins, and that caused negative emotions to appear in Didum, which she didn't act out on until he decided to hit her first, and that just caused a break for her, and then she lashed out, which she had every right to. And that just shows me how most of the times assumptions can bring out the bad in us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's, so many people believe that it's okay to do those things, and it's not okay to do those things and to hurt people physically or emotionally, both, because of assumptions is horrible. So we have to understand how harmful assumptions can be. Okay. If there is anyone else that would like to share, if not, I want you guys to grab a pen and paper, or whatever you want to write with, your phones, whatever it is, because I want you guys, I'm going to give you some prompts, and yeah, so okay, so if you guys are ready with your pen and pencils, whatever you want to write with, I will share the prompts in the chat. Okay, so the first thing is so this is what you're thinking about your problem, the problem that you're focusing on for your project with Soph. And we want to, even break it down even more. So the first thing I want you to write is what causes the problem the most? What causes the problem the most? So go ahead and write that down. So remember that these answers are your thoughts, your opinions, your assumptions in a way. So what is your opinion on what causes your problem the most? The next question is, what do people think of the problem and how do people treat the problem? So what do people think of the problem and how do people treat the problem? Okay. So next question is, what could help fix the problem? What do you think could help fix the problem? And then the last question is, what's something about the history of your topic or problem that you want to learn more about? So what do you want to learn about more about your problem, about the history? And I'm going to give you guys a couple more minutes to answer all the questions, write your hearts out, write everything you think. All right, awesome. So finish up your last thoughts. And we are gonna now go back to Discord. And I hope that all of you can see this new category that I've created. It's called 15 to Spicy Questions. Can someone let me know if, well, I'll share my screen.
Yes, I can see it.
Everyone can say yes. That would be great.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I can see it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Anyone that can't see it? Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do now is you're going to go into one of these groups. I'm going to show you right now which group you are in. And you are going to talk about what you have written down. So you're going to talk about your problem. You're going to talk about like things, you know, that you answered. And then everyone is going to help each person kind of think of questions, survey questions, interview questions, research questions, basically anything that you don't know about your problem. So like, you know, since one person will be talking about stock markets or something, another member of that group will be like, okay, did you think about this? And here's a question that you could ask somebody else. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I didn't quite really get it. Like, who's the one who's going to talk about the problem and who's the one who's going to ask questions?
So each of you are going to present your problem and like all the things that you wrote down. So like the questions that I had asked you, you're going to talk about that. And then the other members of the team are like, hey, did you think about this? Or this would be a good question to ask, or, you know, kind of give them feedback. So each member has to be giving each other feedback. Does that answer your question, Cynthia?
Yep, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, so here are your groups. So this is, you know, it was a little bit difficult because you guys all had like really unique different ideas, but we had to group them in 4 to 5 categories. So here I've created your group. So we have mental health, save the planet, education, financial literacy, communication, and I've placed you in your voice channels accordingly. So right now you're gonna go to your voice channel. You're gonna speak to the other members of your group. You're going to talk about the things you have written down, and then you're also going to give feedback and help your other members of this group come up with research and survey questions that they can ask about their problem, regarding their problem. All right, so you have about 10 minutes to do that. So go ahead, head to your channel, make sure everyone speaks, and I'll see you back here in 10 minutes.
I am for some reason the only one in my voice chat. I'm not
Yes.
quite sure why that is.
Yes, Henry, I see that you're the only one. Marcus should be in your voice chat. Tracy, for some reason, is not here today. So I can add you to the education one so that you can have some people to speak with.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, no, I'm here. I'm here. I just don't know how to get into the voice chat thing.
Marcus,
Oh. What device are you using?
My laptop.
Okay. You just have to like click on the, like the overview of the channels. You like scroll down and then you click on the channel named Financial Literacy. You just click on it and then you join. It's like at the exact bottom of all the channels.
Marcus, I'm sharing my screen right now. Do you see?
All right.
All right. Bye.
Marcus, audio is not working in Discord. Would you maybe be able to put us in breakout rooms? Because like on Zoom it's working.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. All right, done.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, everyone, you have about a minute left. So finish up your thoughts and come back here in a minute. All right, well, welcome back, everyone. I hope you guys all got a chance to speak and share, because now what we're gonna do now is you're gonna go back onto the spicy questions category, and each of you have your own channel. So each of you go to your channel with where your name is, and you are going to write your problem, the problem that you're focusing on, and a statement about it, like, oh, I'm focusing on mental health because da, 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 or I'm focusing on this, da, da, da. So make sure you write in each of your channels my problem and a problem statement. So take 1 to 2 minutes to do that now. Nashville, so if you guys run into that problem where you guys can't hear or something is wrong with the Discord voice channel, just let me know and I can make a breakout room instead.
Yeah, can you please make a breakout room? Yeah. Sadaf, I can't, no one can hear me. Like, it's been happening for the past few weeks. And I've tried and tried, but no one can hear me. So I think a breakout room would be okay. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, well, now we have to move on, but let me know before next time, because Henry and Marcus, they were able to do breakout rooms. So if something's wrong with Discord, next time, just let me know and I can create a big breakout room. Right now, just type your problem and your problem statement into your channel. Take a minute or so to do it, and then I will tell you what you're gonna do next.
Okay.
Where should we write it exactly?
So this is going to be on Discord on your channel. So under the category of spicy questions, I'm going to share my screen right now to show you. Okay, so here you have your category, sorry, your name under this category. So it's called 15 to spicy questions. And each of you have a channel. So go to your name, and in your channel, you write your problem and a problem statement. So the problem you're focusing on and a statement regarding it. So Nashville, you would go here, and yes, okay, you got it, perfect. All right. So All right. So once you have completed that, for the next 30 minutes, this is going to be like the most fun part. The first 30 minutes, you're going to visit each channel, every member, and you're going to comment on one another's channel or zone. Any question or comment you have about their problem, any experience you have with their problem, any resources you can share with them, articles, videos, anything like that, what you think they're assuming, help them also find research questions, help them find survey questions they can ask people about the problem. So this is kind of like a time for you to go crazy, go on everybody's zone, write up your thoughts, share experiences, share relevant information. This is, anything you can think of, and make sure you write on everybody's channel. All right, so let's do that for 30 minutes and have fun, get crazy, try to be as helpful as possible. And yeah, I'll see you guys back here in 30 minutes. All right, enjoy. Fun, and you guys can, I definitely did. It was really fun to like go on everyone's channels, ask questions, ask more questions, and also, any thoughts, any opinions, any relevant information. You can continue definitely after this, continue going on those channels, continues talking, doing all that stuff. So great job, everybody. Now I just want to come back and, if anyone has anything they want to share, we can take 1 or 2 responses. So if you guys want to speak up and talk about your experience or anything you learned or anything new, anything interesting, go ahead and share, let me know. All right. Okay, Henry, go ahead.
So yeah, it was really great. There was a lot of interaction in my channel, and it was like a lot of people had like thought-provoking questions that really will help me in my project. And one thing I want to actually point out, let me see. I think Aurora was it. She said, or he said, I don't quite know. I think it's a she. She said that.
Yeah, it's she.
Okay. I think she said that could it be possible that some is to blame to schools? And so my problem is like misunderstandings of investments on the stock market, and like the schools do play a big factor in this problem. And that's something I thought about in the beginning, but I completely forgot about it. And that's really a shame, because it's such a big factor, and that she reminded me of this is a really good thing that will really help me in my project, and it's something that I really need to include. And there were a lot of these moments where I thought, oh yes, that's something so important, how did I not think about this? And yeah, that's why it was really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, this whole idea is like to expand your mind, to get different perspectives, and I want you guys to continue like talking to one another, asking each other questions, giving more information. So that's awesome. Thank you, Henry. Cedil, you had your hand up earlier. I don't know if you wanted to speak. Where are you? Yes. Cecile, are you there? If not, okay. All right. Well, I don't know. If you want to speak up, let me know. But if not, if there's anyone else that would like to share. Andy, yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I would just like to say, this was an eye opener for me of the just vast differences in how people think. And some people might see a problem and they're like, everybody's gonna think the same. But when you actually sit down and have a group conversation about it, we can see how that small issue can really have great roots to it, that talking to other people can open your eyes to how it's only your perception that makes the problem small. But if you widen your perception, any small problem can be a major problem. And today that opened my eyes.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. Yes, I think, it's awesome that we have such a great group of people here, people from different backgrounds, different countries, who are here to, open your mind to different perspectives, to things you didn't think about. This is, the whole point of having a community itself is like so that you can work on your issue, but also get feedback, get support, get help from the community. So awesome. Thank you, Andy. And Cecile, yes, you will be the last person.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I raised my hand and then I lowered it. And then, anyways, okay, I'm sorry. I was saying that the most thing I was really interested in from all the problems was Henry's, because I don't know, it was really interesting. But what was more interesting, that I felt that all the problems can be connected, because when Aurora said that the school is the problem, and then it was somehow connected to my problem, which is the education system. So all the problems are actually connected, and we can find ways to solve them by like talking about the problems with each other and knowing more about them from each other and having like more ideas from each other.
Yes, exactly. Like it's all connected in a weird way. And exactly, like that's awesome that you guys are seeing these connections, that you're like thinking, oh my gosh, like I didn't think about this before and I didn't think about that before. Yeah, awesome. Good insight, Cecile. Thank you. Andy, you have your hand raised. I'm not sure if you wanted to speak again.
Yeah, in agreement to what Sadil just said, I just feel like conversation should be the solution that fix everybody should be looking for, because when you can converse, when you know how to properly converse with a different party, you also gain the skill of understanding when you try to do it properly. They tie in together, and when you can understand the situation from a different perspective, you can see how it might not affect you, but it can affect others, and that can cause change for the better. And that's just something we all lack from the news, media, social media. So much misinformation is being spread around, and because people don't know how to properly process the proper information needed, we get fooled, tricked, and believe a lot of propaganda is being passed around, and that just creates more and more problems. We just need to find that fix, that way to communicate with each other, just like you know the movie Avatar, right? Not the last airbender, the blue people. That just they were all connected to each other with the world they were living in, and we saw how amazing that world was. With proper communication, we can get a world that beautiful.
Thank you, Andy. Yeah, I think it's so important to understand how different things are affecting different people, and how we as a as humankind, we need to be more compassionate, understanding, because we usually focus on problems that affect us. And how are we, how are we creating change, or how are we making the world a better place if we're not thinking about how those things affect others? And we might be in more privileged situations than other groups of people, and we need to think about that and how we can use that privilege to help others. All right, good responses, awesome stuff. Let's go back for the last thing to the general chat. And we're gonna do quickly some shout outs. As you know, we do this every week. So, go ahead on the general chat, the 15-2 general chat, and shout out someone, show some appreciation for someone, anything that comes to mind for anyone, go for it. And we'll do that for the next 1 or 2 minutes. Make sure you're on the general chat. I know there are a lot more channels and stuff now, so make sure you're going to 15-2 general and writing your shout outs and appreciations there. All right, continue doing those shout outs, continue writing, continue adding to the spicy questions category. And the last thing I want you to do is I want you to go through your channels and pick out the most helpful and interesting, unique thing that you received from another person. And I want you to send me in our private channel between you and I that person and that question, or why you, yeah, exactly. So pick that person, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those votes and I'm going to take every person gets a point, so that point will go to their team, and that's how I will choose the winner for this time. Because I know we didn't really do like a team challenge, but I really want to know which individual you thought had the best insight or most interesting or most unique, and you vote for that person and send it to me, and I will add that up and announce the team winner for this week.
So something that someone said about your project, or a project of someone?
For you. So it would be, you would go through your channel, or maybe if you even had a conversation with someone else, someone that helped really brought an interesting response or question to your problem area.
Okay, all right.
Good question. Okay. All right. So while you guys work on that, send me your votes. Continue adding to people's channels. Continue asking those amazing questions, amazing thoughts. And if there is anyone, well, we're finished now. If anyone has any questions or anything else they want to share before we go, let me know.
May I?
Yes, go ahead, Andy.
I would just like to say thank you for everybody here for helping me increase my perception of the world once again. And thank you for causing this increase in knowledge every Saturday. And I'll be expecting to learn more from every one of you guys in the coming Saturdays.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Andy. Yes, I think we have such an awesome group here, and you guys have so much to say, so many awesome questions and thoughts that you have. So every week we just get better and better. So thank you guys. Right. So I think we are a little bit over time, but thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for sharing. And next week we have our mentor calls. And so please check your calendars, check everything, check your Discord channels for any updates or anything like that, because I'm looking forward to talking to each and every one of you as we expand on your problem areas and think deeper into your problem areas and zones. All right, so thank you all. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys next week.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Goodbye.
Have a good day.
Bye. Have a nice
Have a nice day.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.